so I'm going to start this Kit Kat tale with my tale of my one and only time I worked on Black Friday. It was my first time working in retail, and I was informed that everyone had to work Black Friday. I kind of figured, given that, again, it was my first time working in retail, and I knew everyone in retail has to work Black Friday. It's a day that everyone pretty much camps out for days, sometimes even weeks on end. All the fun trampoline videos on YouTube of all the people at Targets and Walmarts and everything and Best Buys. So I was told that everyone had to work it, everyone had to work an 8-hour shift. But that year was the first year that a lot of the stores were starting to push into Thanksgiving to open for Black Friday. So my store I worked at, they were going to open at 11 p.m. The year before, I believe people were working midnights, so it was definitely a different experience working 11 p.m. So instead of enjoying my Thanksgiving, I had to rush home to try to get some sleep before my big shift. I didn't sleep much. It's kind of hard to conk out at 2 in the afternoon to try to get up at, 7 to go to work. I had soda and energy drinks to try to keep me awake, and I had to push past the waiting crowds. Yes, there were crowds when I got in there. Most of them were idiotic. When I walked past them, I had to flash them my badge to show that I worked there. I wasn't cutting in line. I kid you not, there were quite a few people who thought I was cutting in line. Somehow, though, when I got in, I looked at the schedule, and it showed me working in the kids department. Now, in the store that I worked at, kids wasn't something I would think people want to go to for Black Friday. The biggest ticket items for Black Friday is always electronics, maybe some clothes. People aren't shopping for their kids' clothes, though, so whatever. My only real concern, though, however, was when I looked at the schedule, I realized that the so-called 8-hour required shifts were not so. Most of my coworkers were assigned 11 to 4, so they'd be out by 4 a.m., while I was assigned the full 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. And don't forget, I'm in kids, so I don't know what I was going to do for that 8-hour shift. But I remember them saying everyone had to work 8 hours, but apparently I was the only one that had to work 8 hours. So when the doors open, I just kicked the carpet and watched the madness unfold. I helped clean up the leftovers as people would shove stuff they hastily picked up upon entry, only to realize in their long way to unload that maybe that item wasn't something they really needed. There was a lot of that. I've suggested for the future to have cardboard trash cans for do not wants, instead of people shoving shit into shelves and making a mess. Yes, there was clothing hangers and clothes and knickknacks just screwing about throughout the lines. The mass really only lasted about until 1 a.m., and then around 2 with just a few scattered people. I figured because everyone else is going to pretty much go there and then they rush off to other places that were opening at normal hours. Most came and then they rushed out and off, went other places, and we were kind of dead between 2 to 6 a.m. I was fine until around 3 a.m. or so, and that's when the sleep started to really hit me. I resorted to slapping myself. Yes, I slapped myself, pinching, and just anything to try to stay awake. I started to hate my coworkers who waved and left around this time while I was still stuck useless in kids, because yes, like I said, working in kids, all you do is fold clothes and help out in the fitting rooms, and that's pretty much it. No one's trying on clothes on Black Friday. They are going to rush in, pick up the items they wanted from their ads, and walk out. Around 4, after most people had left, one of the bosses finally came busting into the break room. I forgot to mention that we were promised food for this too. Everyone told me from years past that they had banquets in the break room. Well, we didn't get anything until around 4 a.m. One of my bosses came in with bags full of McDonald's food and put on the tables. The so-called promised food was nothing more than breakfast burritos hastily ordered last minute. Yes, they were last minute. She called them, I think, around midnight, and they said the normal time you have to order stuff well in advance to get like a huge order for a place, and then it took them forever to make it. I stupidly, in my sleepy, groggy state, asked why they were so late and obviously weren't going to be eaten now that everyone was gone, to which she responded they really hadn't planned anything at all, and apparently McDonald's needs a heads up if you want to order more than 20 of an item. Who knew? So it took longer than expected, and as even McDonald's itself didn't open until 3. Oh, the irony. So to close out the remainder of my shift, I tried asking if I could go home early. I felt the sleep overtaking me, and obviously I wasn't needed. Knowing that driving while sleep deprived is the equivalent of driving drunk, and knowing I would have to drive home like this, I tried asking. I did. My boss told me I would be fired if I left now, even though I would be saving them like $7 for the last hour. So I spent my time in the boys' fitting room, closing my eyes and trying not to get caught napping. Honestly, I should have taken a nap because no one ever came to check on me. There was no cameras in the fitting rooms. I could have slept and they probably wouldn't have cared. I feared my luck my boss would see me, but they never did. And it never happened, and 6 a.m. rolled, and I clocked out, and I booked it home. The worst part was I had to work that Saturday, so literally I went home Friday morning at 6 a.m., basically tried to sleep, didn't really sleep well, I had to go in on Saturday. It sucked. I only got 1 hour of holiday pay because, again, 11 to midnight was holiday. So really, I made $14. Whoopee. At that time, it was about $7 an hour is what I was making. It sucked. I never want to experience it again. So pretty much the next year, I made sure I quit before Black Friday. I quit in September, so I would not have to deal with that Black Friday crap. And that's my Black Friday story.